And if he said that what he just said, he means it. So I think the thing is, Boston will look at two things in Marcus Smart's explosion. Number one, they know his intentions. This is a team-first guy. This is an emotional leader and spiritual leader for that team and that locker room. So they know even if he went overboard, maybe said some things, there was stuff thrown. I don't know if he threw it or not. But even if he went a little too far, they know he has the right intentions. So that will help. Secondly, they know he's right. They know he's right. Yeah. It looks like the tenacity and the toughness and the never say die attitude of the Miami Heat is breaking down the Boston Celtics. Jimmy Butler said it. Boston's got more talent, but they are just breaking them down. They're offensively, they're going one-on-one, getting out of what they like to do with the ball movement. Defensively, they're missing assignments with Bam Adebayo getting all these dunks. So they know Marcus Smart has the right things in mind, and they know he's correct. So I think this could actually be a good thing for them.
Brandon.
I disagree, Chris. I disagree. I mean, when you look at this, this is something, but this is a big something on the negative side. Because when you think about how this team is built and their makeup and their mindset, you know, Jaylen Brown is really the only one I feel can handle that. Who was the one that responded after the game in the press conference was Jaylen Brown. Every single day he wears his emotions on his sleeve. He has that tenacity. He has that dog mentality. But when you look in that locker room, Kemba Walker is not built like that. He's not confrontational. Coach Brad Stevens is not confrontational. You know, then you look at Tatum. Is he a ultimate competitor? Yes. But does this guy like conflict? I don't think so. So when you look at this dynamic and you have a Jaylen Brown and you have Smart, who are fiery guys, and you talk about being emotional leaders, like, you got to meet people where they're at. So sometimes, and I've been in locker rooms like this, and I've been on the other side because I'm more like a Marcus Smart. I'm more like a Jaylen Brown. I'm more like a Smart. So when there's times in my career where I went in the locker room and had these same type of confrontations, and it just didn't go well because the guys was like, you know what, I don't know what that is, that yelling, that screaming, that throwing stuff, that doesn't work for me. And then there was other guys like Martellus Bennett was like, I love this, let's go run through a wall. So I think this is a big deal because of the makeup of their team. They seem like they're calm, cool, and collected, and this is not the Celtics that we've seen all year.
All right, well, we'll see if it makes or breaks them. Game 3 between Miami and Boston set for Saturday night. Broussard, thank you so much for joining us. As always, take a break. Coming up, White.
It's gonna be very interesting to see. The one thing Cam is gonna have to do is give a little bit more. Of course, he excelled in the run game and the pass game last week, but I think those numbers have to go up tremendously because you're playing against a guy, Russell Wilson, who's red hot, only throwing 4 incomplete passes last week, completing the ball to 9 different receivers, and you know, just came out as a quarterback that was just red hot in his own right. I think Cam will have to be Superman. I think they're going to have to run the football effectively. Ball control is going to be key. They're going to have to keep Russell Wilson on the sideline and not give him short fields and not give him too many opportunities to, you know, put drives together. So, yes, Cam will have to put the S on his chest this week. He's going to have to charge the guys up, and their game plan is going to have to be extensive. They got to come out and find a way to neutralize the Seattle Seahawks defense, and like I said, keep Russell Wilson off the field because last week he was super turned up, and he looks like a guy that's coming into his own in his 8th, 9th season. And to Russell Wilson's credit, I mean, this guy's been to the Pro Bowl, you know, out of the last 8 years, 7 times. So the Seahawks have a chip on their shoulder, but this is a great test for Cam Newton and the New England Patriots, and could be a statement game and a statement win.
Mm-hmm. Well, hey, Vic, earlier on in the show, I talked about my 5 keys for this team to be victorious, but it wasn't genuine. It wasn't real. I talked about, you know, how they got to keep 3, Russell Wilson in the pocket. I talked about how they got to take away the deep ball from DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett.
Impossible.
I also talked about, you know, yeah, Coach Carroll, if he could, he'll run the ball on 1st, 2nd, and 3rd down, so they got to stop the run. And then on the other side of the ball, you know, I was like, Cam Newton, he has to establish the passing game on early downs, and then they have to protect him, right? Because running it 15, 16 times a game is not the equation. It's just not right. The reality is, this is how I felt when I saw this. I was like, okay, we're talking about this. What's the keys? It's really this. Number one was pray. They need to pray, and they need to pray hard. Number two, it was take the cleats away from DK Metcalf. Number three was find a way to lock small little Tyler Lockett in a locker somewhere on the bus. And the last thing was, like, take some NyQuil, put it in Jamal Adams' drink, because this dude is playing lights out right now. He's angry. He's mad. I don't think Cam Newton and this team has a chance. Now, I do know this. Josh McDaniels is smarter than I when it comes to football. I was around this guy in 2010 when he took over from Coach Shanahan at the Denver Broncos. And one thing I know is he plays chess. He may have been setting up some things in week one just for this game. Like, let me give this pawn away a little bit here so I can then come around week two and take this rook, right? Yep. So I'm really excited to see what wrinkles Josh McDaniel have, but I don't think they have a chance, Nick.
First of all, Brandon, it sounds like once, we're not virtual anymore and you can come to New York, you and I need to play some chess. I like that. Give the pawn away, take that rook. You and I need to do that. But more importantly, you know this as well as anyone, having played in Seattle during the Pete Carroll era. What is the mantra of Seahawk fans? It's 3 words. Let Russ cook. And in week one against the Falcons secondary, Pete Carroll begrudgingly let Russ cook. And it led to nearly 40 points, essentially a perfect game passing. The best thing the Patriots have going for him this week was an underrated comment by Pete Carroll during his press conference on, I think, Tuesday or Wednesday, saying he wants to rededicate himself to the running game. No! Don't do that, Pete Carroll.
No, he didn't say that. He didn't say that.
He just, he did say that. He absolutely said that, even though Russ was 31 of 35. He can't help himself. It's like me every time I say, you know what, this week I'm not going to bet NFL games. And then Sunday it's 11:58 p.m. and I'm like, all right, I'm like, okay, I'm going to bet the NFL game. And so if I'm your beloved Patriots, I'm trying to dare Pete Carroll into his worst instincts. I'm light boxes the whole time. I am giving him great run looks. So even if he's called a pass play that he wants to, Russell Wilson's almost programmed to audible into a run. If Chris Carson beats me, so be it. But I am not going to have Russell Wilson dropping dimes to DK Metcalf and Tyler Lockett. So I am going to, if I'm the Patriots, Wilds, I am trying to bait Seattle into running the ball as much as possible like Pete Carroll wants to, because that is their best chance here.
If you want to air it out against the Patriots secondary, go for it. You want to go throw the ball to Mr. Madden 99 back there, who got an interception. We had 3 interceptions against the Dolphins. So I think he's...